Hi, my name is Nicole. I'm here at the Pearl Review, my new YouTube channel. I'm doing a series on some of my favorite classics. And, if you're a person who's on the fence about reading something, I want to tell you about why I think you should read these books. So this book that I am talking about today is The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. This book took me several years to decide on reading solely because of its page count. It's in the 800 page range. However, what a lot of people don't know about Dostoevsky is he writes page-turning books. A lot of his books have been, have seen film adaptations because of this reason. He packs his books with lots of compelling characters, drama, violence, suspense, redemption. And so the book is very well paced. I'm going to talk about the central characters, but another reason why this book is great is that there are so many characters who help kind of structure this book and the theme of like doubt and compassion, good and evil. The three brothers at the center of this novel are at this period at the beginning of the book of reckoning between them and their father, who hasn't raised any of them, Fyodor Karamazov. And the oldest son, Dmitri, is a hedonist. He is a sensualist that enjoys gambling, women, and alcohol, but he believes in God, so he's constantly having, this conflict internally. He believes that maybe he can be saved, or he's completely debased and there's no hope, and he feels shame. The middle son, Ivan, or Ivan, if you want to be very Russian about it, is maybe the most intelligent character in the book. Either that or his possible half-brother, which you'll find in the novel, might be. But he is a student, and he is seen as an atheist. He writes these, articles that are debates about religion, and it's hard to tell exactly what he feels, but you learn that he believes in God, but he denounces God because God allows horrible suffering to continue on earth, even though he has the power to fix that. So this character is got also great conflict in him as well. The third is the youngest son, Alyosha. His formal name is Alexei. And he is a young novice, which means that he is training to be a priest. So obviously he is this huge contrast between his other brothers. And he's someone who doesn't live in la la land about his faith. He sees this great suffering in the world. And, through being in the church and being under his master, Father Zosima, reacts to the great sufferings that he sees around him with compassion and, the urge to live a life in service and to heal others. My cats are fighting. I'm very sorry. Anyway, so Alyosha, provides this response to a lot of doubt that is in the book, as well as Father Zosima. In this book, you have intense suffering, debasement, and cruelty. You have children with incurable illnesses. You have, people who are degraded because they're poor. You have women, abused and neglected. And this book is a book of great contrast. You have horrible suffering on one side, and you have these two beams of light on the other side that say, this is how to be. This is how we fix the world. A lot of people who do get into this book get into it through the Grand Inquisitor speech. And that's Ivan hashing out his problems with God and, with the turning away, and allowing suffering to continue. And this book is very meaty in terms of philosophy. But a lot of people wind up not reading the full novel and realizing that, there's not like a philosophical response to what to do with this, like how to be a person. And it's actually through these two characters who, despite all of the terrible things that happen in the novel, continue, despite their doubts, to be these sources of love and healing. Now, I don't want you to get the wrong impression. This sounds very, like heady and weighty, and maybe it sounds a little miserable to you. And I would say also, hey, I'm an atheist, and the whole debate about God and stuff. I really think that it goes hand in hand with with Dostoevsky's, belief about people, and love and society, do we just throw up our hands and say, well, everything is going to be crappy, or do we try and make things better? So this book is a beautiful masterpiece. It's so much more even than what I'm getting at. I just want to let you know that even though it's a 19th century novel that is huge, it's exciting, it's moving, and I found it healing personally. So if you enjoyed this, this brief talk about the book, I would suggest this copy of the book. This translation is Richard Peviar and Larissa Volokonsky. Constance Garnett did a lot of the former translations for many of the Russian classics, which is amazing. She kind of gave the opportunity to read Russian literature to English-speaking readers for a really long time. She was like, one of the main people who we had, or at least the primary person, the first person. And this edition, while updating, the language, the style to better suit Dostoevsky's style and message, it also has a great introduction, which explains why you might want to consider this copy. And it has great notes about the book too, how how each character is mired in doubt, and how this book answers what to do about that. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. If you have any thoughts or comments about the book or this short review, please feel free to message me or to comment below. Thanks so much for listening.